Nikhil sir, you may go ahead. I started.
Okay. So first of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and very specifically and extensively, our beloved judges, Stuti ma'am and Samaira ma'am. Well, I am Nikhil Vyas, one of the moderators of this event, and hence will be taking you to the happenings of the event and upcomings of this event. Listeners, please pay attention to this quote. It's very important for everyone. An anchor or moderator does not speak to be heard, first of all, but to connect voices, to find a connectivity with the content and the people. A very warm welcome to all members of English learners and overall the Telegram digital society, a community, a place, a platform where language meets logic and expression meets thought. And as we proudly say every time in English learners, when you choose English learners, you choose the best. So, guess what? Today on this platform, English learners, we are proudly, overwhelmingly presenting EL Editorial League, English Learners Editorial League, a space designed not just to speak, but to question, not just to argue, but to understand, to comprehend. Now let us talk about media and journalism, because this is what the agenda of our event is. It is not just an industry, but as an institution. Media informs citizens, shapes democracy, our rights, influences public opinion, and holds power accountable. It decides what becomes a national conversation and what remains a silent footnote. In simple terms, media doesn't just tell us what is happening. It often tells us what deserves our attention. So listeners, please pay attention to this thing. And that power raises some very real questions. And the questions are, who decides the narrative? Who edits the truth? Who benefits from the silence? Media can be a torch of truth or a spotlight of sensation. It can educate the nation or entertain it into distraction. Facts may be whispered, but headlines will definitely shout at one point of time. Truth waits patiently, but your trains are always sold out. That's what media today is. As per said by Malcolm X, media is the most powerful entity on earth, people, listeners. And that is the only reason, as we know, with power comes with responsibility, but responsibility, unfortunately, is not the trending thing anymore in this world. So for that reason, let me ask a few more honest questions. These are going to be very, very uncomfortable for the listeners. Is news verified or just viral? Is journalism about facts or about followers? Is breaking news breaking stories or breaking ethics, breaking morality, breaking your individual rights, your transparency, your sovereignty? If silence is ignored, people, and noise is rewarded, then listeners, you have to understand, you have to pick only one, which is going to survive at the end. Now we are in an era where speed is defeating accuracy. Yes, you are getting misled every time, every point of time, where opinions arrive before facts, where views outweigh values. Discussing media, listeners, discussing media is no longer optional. It is essential today. And there is a quote that I personally have recommended to everyone. Media adds oxygen to the democracy. Yes, you heard it right. It adds oxygen to the democracy and removes pollution from it. That's what media is. And for that reason only, today we are having this EL Editorial League, because this platform will provide you a platform to debate boldly, question intelligently, and communicate sagaciously. We are going to refine both the things, your intellectuality and understanding on media, journalism, and at the same time, the main agenda of our English learners group, that is your English. So let words carry weight, let arguments ignite insight, and let truth, for the very first time, let truth, but not noise, win the fight. With that, let us begin. So for that, now I would be inviting the second co-host or the second moderator of this event, Miss Utkarsh Priyadarshini. She is a versatile speaker. She is a phenomenal beauty. So please, ma'am, have your stage and lead us to the first round.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Popular, my co-host Nikhil Vyas. That was so crisp and clear introduction by you. So everything now set up perfectly with your side. Now let's move to the format of round one. So all right, everyone. So we are jumping into the round one. Let me begin with the format, how it will unfold. Okay. So basically, round one is about the editorial desk. Okay. So in this round, there are 12 participants, and each participants have to present their own agenda, one clear agenda on the theme inflation of India. It should be framed like an editorial argument because it is not a debate, not a storytelling, and it's not a rebuttaling round. So every participants, 12 participants, they have to present their agenda, their arguments, editorial arguments within time limit 90 to 120 seconds. So if they exceed the time limit, then maybe they will be attracting penalties. So be ready for that. So with this, let's come to the welcoming part. So with our first participant is one who is carrying clarity of thought and confident expression. Please welcome Amog to the stage.
Hello,
Is Amog
everyone.
available here?
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, you are perfectly audible, Amog. Yeah, you may proceed.
Okay.
Please put timer on the screen. Okay, so how are you feeling, Amog? What's your thought on this?
To be honest, I'm quite nervous. I wasn't expecting to go first, but yeah. So hoping,
Okay.
yeah, to be the best version of me. So yeah, I think the timer is
All
back.
right. Okay. All right. All the best.
Thank you. Yeah, you can start. Greetings, everyone. This is Amok, and I'm here to present the agenda of the current inflation trajectory in India. So I'm going to speak about its impact on households and rural economy while connecting towards the end to the next topic, which is in my second round. Okay. So the editorial goes like this. The topic: benign calm on the low inflation trajectory. The latest inflation prints, with the consumer price index likely inching up to 1.66% after touching a historic nadir of 0.25% in October, suggests that India has firmly entered a period of disinflationary stability. The primary driver, a sustained deflation of the food basket, has undoubtedly offered a salve to the urban household budgets. However, policymakers must not mistake cyclical relief for structural permanence. The sharp contraction in food prices, while beneficial for the consumer, augurs ill for the rural agrarian economy as it reduces farmers' profits. Furthermore, with core inflation inching upwards alongside a rally in gold and global commodities, the underlying price pressures remain dormant rather than dead. The center's task is now to ensure that this window of price stability is utilized to fortify supply chains against future volatility. It has to ensure that the current calm does not precede a storm of supply side shocks. So that was it from my side.
Well,
Amazing.
yeah, Utkarsh.
Yes, carry on.
Yeah, so Amog, that was a wonderful, insightful editorial description from your side. Very crisp, but at the same time, very informative. By listening to you, I have got a question, and it is to the viewers, it is to the listeners, and also to the government of our country. Let's say if inflation is under control as per the official data, because government always claims that. Why do essential items like food, fuel, and healthcare continue to strain household budgets? Why is there a lot of people still living under poverty and they're not able to afford anything in the country? Who are going to ask these questions? Well, I guess in the next editorial we would be having such questions too. But that was an amazing, compelling, and thought provoking description by you of editorial analysis. Thank you, Mr. Amok. We are pleased to hear you. Now, I would like to invite Utkarsh to have our second participant of first round.
All right, Nikhil Vyas. So now moving to the next participant. Okay, we have our next participant with us, Batman, who is bringing mystery, confidence, and heroic edge, ready to rule the round. So please welcome Batman to the stage.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. Am I audible properly?
Yes, you are properly audible, Batman. How are you? Are you
Yeah,
set?
doing good. Quite nervous because I'm doing it for the first time. I've never done speeches, so let's see how it goes.
Okay, you will do good. Okay, all the best. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Can somebody please give the countdown, then start the timer?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, start.
Have you ever wondered why the same 100 rupee buy less every year? That's inflation. Hello everyone, I'm Batman and today I'm talking about a topic that quietly affects all of us, inflation. Inflation simply means prices going up. But when prices rise faster than our income, life becomes stressful. Your groceries cost more, your fuel costs more, and even saving becomes harder. One major reason behind inflation is fuel and global prices. India imports most of its oil, so when crude oil becomes expensive globally, petrol and diesel becomes costly here, and that increases transport, food and delivery cost all across India. Another big factor is value of the rupee. When rupee weakens against the dollar, everything we import, fuel, edible oil, electronics, becomes costlier. That extra cost is finally paid by us, the customers. Then there is a gold and savings. When people fear inflation, they buy gold to protect their money. That pushes gold prices up, which again reflects rising inflation expectations. Now let's talk about household and wages. If your salary grows at 5% but prices rise at 7%, you are actually becoming poorer. Your purchasing power falls and your cost of living rises. So, how do we fix inflation? The RBI controls interest rates to manage how much money flows in the economy. Higher rates reduce excess spending, and that helps cool down inflation. The government works upon food supply, storage, fuel taxes, so that prices don't suddenly jump up. In simple words, stable policies, control fuel prices, and strong supply chains are the real solutions. Inflation is not just an economic word, it decides how far your money can go, and that's why understanding it matters for every Indian. Thank you so much.
Well, well, well. That was subtle yet forceful, lexical rich, and theoretically grounded, dialectically sound. I have many more adjectives, Batman, but I'm just saving them for your future participations in the same event. But your editorial, oh my god, that completely demonstrated the reality of our Indian market. And you've completely directed and conversed that Indian market with the foreign markets. You said it a complete reality because India right now is heavily dependent on crude oil imports. So any rise in global crude prices, it is likely going to increase our import costs also. And then that would be a burden on the Indian public. And there is a saying that a weaker Indian rupee against the dollar makes crude oil even more expensive. Since oil is traded in dollars, viewers, listeners, oil is traded in dollars, not in Indian rupee. Let's move to the next participant now. So I would invite Utkarsh to have our next participant. But before that, Thank you, Batman. That was profound, structured, and convincing.
Okay, thank you so much, Nikhil, for this valuable feedback or kind of praise. Okay, so moving to the next participant, I'm welcoming the one who is very warm, very polite, positive, and having sharp thinking, and truly brighten every competition yet till now. So please welcome Preet to the stage. Preet, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, Preet. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible. All set from your side? Are you ready?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. How is the Joes? How is the energy today?
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay. Okay, so please set the timer and you can proceed accordingly.
Yeah. So you would be starting by a countdown of 3 to 1. 3, 2, and breathe.
Good evening, everyone. Read this side. If inflation were announced loudly, India would protest. But inflation doesn't shout. It whispers through higher bills, smaller savings, and silent compromises. This is my agenda today to expose inflation not as a spike in prices, but as a slow loss of control for ordinary households. The main engine behind this inflation is fuel-led cost pressure. Fuel and transport form nearly 1/4 of the cost behind essential goods. So, when fuel rises, food follows, services stretch, and supply chains strain. This is not demand excess. This is inflation built into the system. The silent victims are salaried households. Inflation stays near 5 to 6%, while income moves slower. Rents climb, school fees stretches, healthcare costs grow, but salaries, they still. Inflation doesn't shock them, it wears them down. So the real question is not where inflation stands, it is how much resilience households are expected to lose before stability collapses. India's priority must be protecting purchasing power because growth means little. If poor people if people would feel poorer while the economy feels stronger, inflation is not defeated. When charts improve, it is defeated when citizens stop shrinking to their lives to survive. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening.
And listeners, again, there was a coherent, eloquential, and well reasoned argument, editorial analysis by our beloved, nuanced, and persuasive speaker, Ms. Preet. But, viewers, I have a question to everyone. And the question is quite simple, that when household savings are shrinking year after year, as said by Preet also in our editorial, isn't inflation becoming a form of silent killing, the same said by our beloved speaker, of Indian families rather than just an economic statistic? Let me tell you one thing. When household savings are increasing, people or shrinking, it is quietly weakening the financial security of Indian families. At the same time, when your healthcare costs are rising sharply, it pushes families towards debt and distress. And that is also one of the main reasons of people committing suicides. Yes, you heard it right. And in our country, unemployment, oh my God, that is stagnation, that adds to that fueling surge in the prices. Well, there are a lot of agendas to discover today in this event, but still, let's move to the next participant. Let's have a more sophisticated and balanced argument. So I would be inviting my co-host to have a third participant. Oh, sorry, fourth one.
Okay. Okay. So let's welcome someone who's a strong name matched with a strong determination. Let's hear it from him. So please welcome Exton to the stage. Are you there, Exton? Is Exton is available here? Okay, no worries.
Yeah, we have Exton. We have Exton here. Exton, are you there? Are you able to unmute yourself at the time being? Please reply us in the chat box still. You there, Exton? Fine. So, till the time being, since Exton, okay, Exton is there, guys. It's okay. So sorry for that loophole of communication. Now Exton is here. Yes, Exton, please proceed.
Okay, good evening. First of all, everybody. Shall I start?
Yes, Exton. First of all, welcome to this grand event, EL Editorial League. Well, I have a few adjectives for you so that you will be more motivated. You have to be very elegant, strategic, and scholarly, that you are all ready. And please be a bit louder, my dear. Please be a bit louder. I know you have a lot of intellectuality with wisdomful words today, but your voice also adds to that. So let's be more louder. Now, with a countdown of 3 to 1, you would be starting your participation. So, Saksham, can we have the timer? Yeah. So 3, 2, 1. Here you go. Please.
So, good evening, respected judges, esteemed opponents, and dear audience. I hope you all are having a pleasant and beautiful evening. I'm Exter from Team D, and today I'll be speaking on the topic that affects every Indian household: inflation and the rising cost of living. Inflation is not merely a rise in prices. It's a persistent erosion of people's aspirations by diminishing their real value of earned income. In India, the most affected segment of society is middle class people who are dependent on predictable monthly salaries. Purchasing power has gradually declined in this vulnerable sector of society. Unlike the poor who are supported by subsidies and the wealthy who have financial security, salary dependent are marginalized and suffer disproportionately. Who reaps the rewards when ordinary earners are left with almost nothing? As Ludwig von Mises once said, government is the only institution that can take a valuable commodity like a paper and make it worthless by applying ink. Moreover, their living expenses seem as uncontrollable as rising prices. Even inflation at 3.8 to 4% raises the cost of living because essential commodities grow faster than income, slowly reducing people's abilities to buy things. And this escalation in inflation imposes a huge burden on them, forces them to spend a large proportion of their income on school and college fees, rent, transport, entertainment, and the healthcare. So therefore, India must maintain the stability in purchasing power of its people to safeguard them from further erosions of their aspirations and ensure balance in their living standards. Thank you.
Well. That was well articulated, insight rich, and a rhetorically strong editorial. But before I proceed with the question, listeners, I want to tell you one thing about journalism. It's very important for us to understand the fact that the power of media lies as much in omission as in expression. And there is one more that is coming. That journalism exists to hold power accountable. And that is the reason today we are discussing this main agenda. Our main foundation of this event is to discuss on mediocrity and journalism. That how this country treats the journalism, how this country treats its public, how the government manipulates us. That's what we are discussing. And a question comes to my mind every time when I listen to these insightful discussions where numbers are different and the reality of Indian public is different. If inflation is literally under control on paper, it is just paperized inflation. then why does every poor and middle class family feel poorer at the grocery store and pharmacy than did a year ago? Why? Is it just my imagination? Or is it like, do you also feel the same thing? You must be feeling the same thing. Because if something costed you earlier 500, it is costing you now 5,000. That's what the inflation is. Look at Parle-G. They are not increasing their prices, but they're decreasing the number of biscuits in it. That's what inflation is, people. You have to be quite sagacious now. Wake up. So by this awakening movement on English learners in this grand event, I would be inviting our next participant by the assistance of my co-host, Utkarsh Priyadarshini. Please.
Thank you, Nikhil. Now it's time to welcome our next participant. Before welcoming in a simple way, I would like to emphasize I'm welcoming one who is always ready to challenge the limits. He is fearless and he is none other than Offender. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, well, how are you and how is your energy today?
Yes, I'm doing great. How about you? Energy is high as always.
Okay, all right, all set. Okay, so please put the timer for him. Okay, accordingly, you can proceed.
Yep. So now we would be starting with the countdown of 3, 2, 1, start.
Inflation does not shout, it whispers. Yet its impact echoes in every household budget. Respected judges, honorable host, and my dear audience, good evening to all of you. My name is Offender, and today I'm here to speak on the topic inflation in India. Inflation in India is a major economic challenge that affects the daily life of every citizen. It refers to the steady rise in prices of goods and services, which reduces the purchasing power of money. In recent years, inflation has been driven largely by the fuel, petroleum, and global price pressures. India imports nearly 85% of its crude oil. So any rise in the global oil prices, it directly increases the transport cost, cooking gas prices, and electricity bills. This pushes up the cost of food and our essential goods. Another important aspect is our gold rupee value and savings behavior. High inflation weakens the rupee against the US dollar. It makes the import expensive. As a result, households often shift their savings from bank to gold, which is seen as a safe store of value. India consumes over 700 tons of gold annually, showing how the inflation shapes saving habits. The RBI plays a key role in controlling the inflation. It has raised interest rate to reduce the excess spending and keep inflation close to its target, which is of 4%. The government has also reduced the fuel taxes. It has controlled exports and released food stocks to stabilize the prices. For households, inflation raises the cost of living, while wages grow slowly. Essentials like food, rent, and healthcare become harder to afford, especially for the middle and low-income families. So, to fix this inflation, India needs stable fuel prices, strong supply chains, better farm productivity, and balanced monetary and fiscal policies. Thank you, everyone.
Well, thank you, Offender, for not offending us, but yes, indirectly offending the government of our country because you asked some serious questions to them. You asked some serious questions to the manipulators synonymous to the word politicians. Well, your editorial was literally conceptually robust. It was seminal, cogent, and discursive. But, by listening to you, most of the people are now coming with a term that is gold. Let me tell everyone, in our country, we buy a load of gold, especially on a few occasions like Deepavali, Dhanteras, and some other festivities of the world. Let me tell a fact, people. 10 years ago, around 2015, 10 grams of gold was only costing us 24K approximately. And now what is the price? The price is 1.30 lakh. 1.30 lakh the price is. That's roughly 5 times higher than a decade ago. That means just in 10 years, people, you have seen a surge that is 5 times higher. How much your salary has been increased? Can you tell me? By 5,000, 10,000. That's it. And look at the prices of commodities in the world, in our country especially. This means we have seen a 400% over 10 years of surge in the prices of commodities that we use. Well, anyway, there are many more questions to ask to the government in this event, but let's move to the next argument. Let's move to the next participant. Yes, Utkarsh, please.
Okay, so audience, can you guess who is our next participant? Okay, let me tell you. Our next participant is one who is very graceful, having sweet voice and clear thought idea and better articulation. So with this, I would like to welcome our speaker Gurbani to the stage. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there. Very good evening.
Hi Gurbani. Very good evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you all set?
Yeah, a little bit
Uh,
nervous.
No, you will rock here. So all the very best, Gurbani.
Okay, shall I start? Like
Yeah,
hide and seek.
you would be starting by a countdown of 3 to 1. So please let me do the honors for a few seconds. 3. But before that, let me tell you one thing. You are going to rock this time. You will nail it. Don't be nervous. Don't be hesitant. Just kill the encyclopedia today through your voice. 3, 2, 1, start.
Good evening to all of you. Today, I stand before you to express my views on a topic that quality affects every household, every dream, every future. Inflation. Inflation in India has reached alarming levels, 7.4% in December 2025, the highest in 3 years, according to recent government data. Food inflation alone stands at 9.2%, squeezing household budgets. This is not just a statistic, it is the price of essentials rising faster than incomes. We must ask what's behind this surge: global commodity pricing, fluctuating exchange rate, and domestic supply chain issues. But we also see opportunities: reforming agriculture policies, stabilizing fuel prices, strengthening wage growth. These could be key remedies. It's time to act. Inflation can't be allowed to erode our financial future. Let's not wait. Let's act now. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you, Gurbani. Thank you so much for that insight-rich, disciplined, and conviction-based editorial analysis. We literally loved it. First of all, your entire tone was so sweet, so lucid, so pellucid. That was prodigiously persuasive. Prodigiously persuasive. Honestly telling. And I guess everyone, see, look at the comment section. People are literally appreciating you. They are applauding you. They are giving you accolades. But Gurbani, not to you, but to the government of our country, I have a question. She talked on rice. She talked on, let's say, pulses. Not directly, but indirectly, because she talked about food. And we are Indians. We are Indians and we eat a lot of rice. We consume a lot of pulses because that is our main commodity in the kitchen. Our mother is so much fond of it. But there is a fact. In last decade, the rice costed 35 rupees per kg approximately. And now it is costing us 55 rupees per kg. And or even more in some different states. That's almost 50% more. And how much your salaries have increased? Anyway, I won't go on that. Otherwise, people would be leaving the VC. They would be giving some rhetorically words to me. If the government says food inflation is under control, then why does our rice taste the same but cost like a luxury good? Isn't it sarcastic that if the government says food inflation is under control, then why does our rice taste the same but cost like a luxury good? as if every grain comes with a surcharge on our hardship. Anyway, many more questions to be unfolding in this event. Let's introduce the next participant now. Utkarsh, please do the honors.
Okay. So well said, Nikhil. And it was like your question, your facts, I was writing down simultaneously. So before moving to the next participant, audience, please create hype in the chat section so that our participants, our speaker get more energetic and more enthusiastic for the round one. Okay. So before welcoming our next participant, I should say something for him. He's kind of mature person, kind of mature in thought, confidence. So please welcome our next speaker, the Phoenix. Are you there?
Yes, hi, I am here. Good evening.
Very good evening, Phoenix. How are you?
Yeah, I am good and excited.
Okay, good to know. And okay, so we can move with the timer. Can we have timer, please?
Yep. So, Mr. Phoenix, let's just start. 3, 2, 1, and here is your editorial.
Inflation proves that abundance on paper doesn't guarantee abundance in life. Good evening, everyone. Phoenix this side. Inflation in India is often discussed through numbers, but for many families, it is felt at the dining table. One major reason for inflation today is food price rise. Food items have a large share in India's inflation basket. When monsoons fail, crops are damaged, or storage and transport are weak, food prices rise quickly. Vegetables, pulses, and grains become expensive even when people's income stays the same. The most affected group is low income and informal workers. These families spend a big part of their income on food. When prices rise, they are forced to cut back not on luxury but on nutrition, education, and healthcare. For them, inflation is not inconvenience, it is daily pressure. Another reason is the falling value of the rupee. When the rupee weakens, imports like fuel, fertilizers, and edible oil becomes costlier. These higher costs slowly reach mass markets and increase everyday prices. So what should India focus on? Reducing price shocks, not just reacting to them. India must improve food storage, support farmers, and strengthen local supply chains. Inflation control should begin before price rise, not after families start suffering. Because inflation is not just an economic issue, it is a matter of daily survival for millions. In conclusion, I want to say inflation is a distance between income, salary, wages, and dignity. Thank you so much.
Wow. I mean, the last quote and the first quote. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's so profound. That's highly structured. There's so much convincing, so much expressive. And the tone was very precise, substantive. Anyway, so Mr. Phoenix, as per your editorial, I do have a particular thing. And again, I would be cursing the government, undoubtedly. So let me tell a fact, because Phoenix said one particular line. He started with this, that abundance on papers does not mean that it shows the reality. Yes, because for our government, for our politicians, and for the people of our country, when it comes to inflation, a proper lifestyle, then our paperized abundance is inversely proportional to the reality. Not directly proportional, it's inversely proportional. Let me tell you one particular thing. India's headline retail inflation, it is to record low levels. How much? as low as 0.25% in October 2025. And in November 2025, it was 0.71%, not even 1%, people. That's record high. That's record high in negative terms. That means it's record low. But yet, in our country, millions of families still feel the pinch every day at the market, where they are not able to afford pulse, cereals, vegetables, rice, and other things. But yeah, rhetorically, abundance on papers, it does not mean that it shows the reality. But anyway, many more questions to come, and I would be cursing the government once again after the next participation. So Utkarsh, please lead the stage and invite our next participant.
Okay, well, so as our participant is ready with their arguments, Nikhil, you are also ready with your thoughts, facts, like you have equivalently studied well. That's great. Okay, so moving to the next participant. Okay, any guesses? Nikhil, do you know who is our next participant?
Obviously, undoubtedly, I know.
Okay, let's audience also know who is our next participant. So without further ado, our next participant is one who is very calm but confident as well as loud. Okay, and who is always ready to speak or participate in the every event as well as debate. So please welcome our next participant, Priyanshu. Are you there?
And as respected judges and host, I am present here.
Amazing, amazing. So how is
Okay.
your energy? Are you all set?
Yes, I am all set. I am fully excited for this event. May I start?
Yes,
Okay.
on the
Okay.
count of three, you can start. Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yes, Mr. Forensic Scientist on Inflation, Mr. Editorial Analyst, with a countdown of three, you would be starting your participation, your description in words. 3,
Okay.
2, 1, here you go.
Let's begin this event from my side of a quote. The value of money is not in its number, but in what it can buy. Honorable judges, respected opponents, and my fellow listener, inflation is often explained as the rising prices. But in reality, inflation is the slow and silent decline in the value of money itself. In today's India, the problem is not reckless spending by household. The real problem is that each rupee is steadily losing its purchasing power. According to official data, while average income growth has hovered around 5 to 6%, essential expenses, food, fuel, healthcare, and education, have frequently risen at 8 to 10% or more. This gap is not economic progress, it is the economic pressure. Let me ask a simple question to you, everyone. If economics move slowly but price move fairly, so who truly benefits from growth? Consider a middle class family. 5 years ago, 500 could cover vegetables for nearly 2 days. But today, the same 5,000 are struggling to last even one evening. This is not over consumption, this is currently erosion. When liquidity expands, physical pressure rise or global shocks hit, the first causality is the true in money. As the Reserve Bank of India itself acknowledges, inflation hits saver and fixed income earners the hardest. Those who the least room to adjust. As Mahatma Gandhi wisely reminds us, the earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needed, but not every man's greed. Inflation punishes need, not greed. Currency inflation quietly transfer wealth from savior to borrows, from salary earner to assist holder, from discipline to disruption. So the real question for us is the can an economic truly grow when its people slowly lose faith in the
Well,
value of their own money?
Mr.
Because
Priyanshu,
because in the
time's
end,
up. Time's
just
up, my dear.
okay, thank you.
Time's up, my dear. But that was, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God is not a term for you, my dear. That's a short term. Look at even the judges are commenting on your performance. I mean, that was an unprecedentedly unexpected performance. Literally. Oh my God. Look at you are just overburdened by the comment section, my dear. Like people are literally dying to listen to you once again. I'm so sorry, listeners. I know I took your heart out because I stopped him in between because that was pre-decided as well the timing of our event. But literally that was, I have a few terms for you, Priyanshu. I have a few terms for you.
Yeah.
You were oratorically imperious. You were vocally assertive. You were tonally unflinching. That was incredible. Literally. But anyway, I have a particular question to ask, but this time not to the government. This time not to the government because you already nailed it asking the question to the government. I would be asking a question to the media. That every time we just question the government, do we even question the media? Are they playing at the best? Tell me one thing. When journalism entertains more than it educates, what exactly are we consuming? Are we consuming a manipulated idea? What kind of an ideological society is it? Where our fourth pillar of democracy isn't providing us the education, isn't providing us the oxygen to breathe, but is providing us the carbon footprint and polluting the democratic governance. That's what they are doing. But, we have to be quite optimistic also, not all the time pessimistic. And for that reason, I have a particular quote for everyone that in the digital age, speed threatens accuracy, but at the same time, media cannot be neutral in the face of injustice. Well, let's move forward with our next thought-provoking argumentator, Utkarsh. Please.
Okay. Yeah, well, your question was really mind-boggling. Like I was just scratching my head while thinking about the question. Okay, what happened? Like I am able to answer it later on or not. Okay, so moving to the next participant. Okay, should I welcome early or should I delay? Okay, there is time frame, so I need to welcome her so quickly. So bringing elegance, I'm bringing intelligence to the stage with this, who is none other than Darshini. Are you there?
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Darshini. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good, ma'am.
Okay, so you're looking low in your energy. Please have some energy. And
Now, okay, ma'am. I can start.
okay, you are set?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So all the very best, Darshini, and yes, you're gonna rock the stage. I know this. So what? All the very best. Now on the count of three, you can start.
Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely. With a countdown of 3, I know you're very eager to start now. So 3, 2, 1, and heads to the audience, please.
Good evening, everyone present here. I'm Darshini from Team A. Inflation in India, a big change. From many years, prices in India were always going up. Food, petrol, and daily things becomes costly because found it hard to save money. But in 2025, something very special happened. In January, inflation was 4.3%. In October, it became only 0.25%. This is the lowest inflation in many years. Wholesale price also went down and become minus 1.21%. Why it price go down? Food becomes cheaper. The government cut petrol tax, so transport and products cost becomes less. RBI made good rules. The Reserve Bank of India made strong rules to control inflation. This helped keep pricing low. What's happening in the world? China is selling many cheap goods to other countries. Because of this, price in the world are also coming down. India is also getting cheaper products. Is low inflation always good? Not always. If wood price are very low for a long time, farmers will earn less money. If people stop spending money, the economy can slow down. So therefore, India is moving from high price to low price. The next few months will tell us if the change will only for a short time, for a long time. Thank you so much, ma'am. I have done.
Okay. Well, Darshini, that was very strategic. But you know, the way you started, first of all, let me tell you, that was so methodical. Literally, that was empathic. It needs some appreciation. And by that some, I mean to say it should be prodigious, it should be ineffable, it should be unassailable. That was literally evidentially supported editorial. Anyway, after listening to you and all the people, listeners, do you also want to listen to me? What do you say? Should I also curse the government once again? Tell me, yes or no? Yes. Okay. That's a big yes. Let me tell you one thing. Every year, inflation does not steal loudly. Pay attention to this. Inflation does not steal loudly. It politely erases your savings every year while calling it normal economic adjustment. You will every time listen to people around you, they call themselves very intellectual and they come with this term normal economic adjustment. Is it a normal economic adjustment? I mean, this inflation, this unemployment, this stagnation in the country is killing your pockets every year. People are not getting basic amenities to eat, first of all. They aren't allowed with basic infrastructure of healthcare, transportation. People are getting dried every day. And then after that, you come with a term that is normal economic adjustment. There is a sarcastic awakening I need to have from the public. If inflation is slowly making us poorer every year, are we still waiting for a crisis? Literally. Because I have seen a trend in India. People wait for, first of all, a problem, then that problem becomes a crisis, and after that it becomes an issue. And then global communities start provoking India that you haven't done anything. The public of India is literally illiterate, uneducated. They aren't knowing anything about macroeconomics, microeconomics. This is the time you have to come out of the comfort zone and start pretentiously asking the questions to the government, to the politicians. Let's move to the next participant now. But there would be more questions. Thought-provoking but uncomfortable for a few particular people who say normal economic adjustment. Utkarsh.
Now we are on the 10th participant. So our 10th participant is one who is known for his creativity, means he's having creative thinking, bold stage presence. So he is none other than Rentroid. Are you there?
I am.
Hello, Rentroid. How is your energy and how are you feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling quite a bit nervous. I have not been in such stage before, so obviously.
Okay. Well, you are going to experience, you are going to have better experience today. So you're gonna rock the stage. So on the count of three, on the countdown of three, you can start.
Okay.
Yes, Android. 3, 2, 1. Please start.
A man can survive a storm he can see coming, but he is slowly undone by the tide that rises while he sleeps. Respected judges, honorable host, and my dear audience. Good evening, I am Rentroid. Today I speak of a silent erosion of our economy. It is 2026, the headline claims that the storm has passed. They show us a steady surface inflation at 10 basis points and repo rate of 525 basis points. They call this as equilibrium. But my friend, don't be fooled. For the common man, the water is still rising. While crude oil rests, our rupee fights a losing battle against the dollar. This is a heavy burden of imported inflation. Every ship that docks brings higher costs to the table. This is survival tide. Price climbs not from prosperity, but to keep the industry breathing. Look at gold, now soaring past 1.3 lakhs. This is not a celebration of wealth, it is a flight to safety. People are converting cash into assets, starving the market of liquidity. We are trapped in savings paradox. What saves the individual slowly suffocates the economy. Beneath us, a widening gap is taking shape. The wealth remains safe and secure while ordinary people struggle at the cost of healthcare and education keeps rising, pulling them deeper into financial stress. We cannot wait for the tide to turn. The movement demands bold economic decisions, not just monetary tweaks. We must reinforce the ground beneath our feet before the purchasing power of people washes away forever. Thank you.
Wow. Guys, have we adopted the bullet train? I mean, that's a very serious question. Are we having the bullet train? I mean, literally, that was phenomenally well. No pause, nothing. A completely streamlined editorial speaking. There is a word for it, and that is dialectically sound it was. It was meticulous, it was cerebral, and at the same time, it was stylistically refined. That was it. What was it? It was stylistically refined. And yeah, people are giving you Android. Mind you, people are giving you 9.9. They're giving you 9, 10. Someone has even given you 99 out of 10. Well, that's not possible mathematically, but people are giving you that. Yes, you deserve that appreciation. But Mr. Android, by listening to you, I have a question. But this time to the banks of our country, because RBI every time says that they're working at the best using MPC, Monetary Policy Committee, because that is what the repo rate is all about. They fluctuate the inflation, they fluctuate the liquidity of case in our country, people. MPC, that works under RBI, Monetary Policy Committee. Let me tell you one thing. If RBI says this thing, that it has lowered the repo rate, if RBI says this thing that it has lowered the repo rate to help the economy, I think Rentroid is correct. It is a silent erosion of economy, right? But anyway, RBI says that it has lowered the repo rate to help the economy, but at the same time, banks get cheaper money and the statistics look pretty on paper. But my dal, again, I will come to the same thing. I know you people must be irritated. You must be feeling boring. But that's correct. It's factual. It's evidential. It's not rhetoric. It's not philosophical. My dal costs the same as dignity at an overpriced wedding feast. Who exactly is this rate really helping? Is it helping elite? Or is it helping the only prime minister of our country? Or is it helping the president? Or is it only helping the MPC, election commission of our country? Or some mediocrity people? Is it really helping 99% of our country's population that only holds 1% of GDP? The question is important. Let's move to the next participant.
Okay, now moving to the next participant. She is always admired for sincerity and expression of thoughts. And she is very expressive, as we know that. So please welcome none other than Sandrachika Priyadarshini. Is she here?
Yes, ma'am. I am here.
Okay. Well, how is your energy, Sandrachika?
Yes, my energy is high. I am excited.
Oh my God, that's amazing. And you are sounding so energetic right now. So now you are all set. Can we have timer with the countdown of 3?
Yes, of course.
Yep. So, Mrs. Scholar, 3, 2, 1, start.
Inflation in India is not a price problem. It is a policy coordination failure. Hey everyone, this side Sandrachika presenting you all an editorial. Inflation hurts not because prices rise, but because the RBI and the government pull in opposite directions, and the poorest citizen absorbs the friction. Ask yourself, when food prices rise, who adjusts? consumption, or nutrition. When fuel prices rise, who pays? Companies or kitchens? The logic is simple. The RBI tightens credit to control inflation. The government expands spending or leans on indirect taxes. Demand is squeezed, supply remains rigid, prices stay high. So, is inflation being controlled or merely managed politically? One insight is enough. Monetary policy cannot fix food supply chains, fuel taxes, or logistics, yet it carries the blame. In India, inflation survives not because policy fails, but because policies refuse to speak in one voice. That's it from my side.
Well, thank you so much, Sanrachika. Let me tell you one thing. It's not about this event. It is about your name. You know, you have a very sweet name, a name that is quite pretty, that is well structured. That's a very unique name. Now it's not about the name, it's about your arguments. So does your name is unique, so does your arguments are. Now let's start one particular thing. People, let me tell you a fact. You know, freedom of the press is not just important to democracy. No, that's incorrect. Freedom of press is not just important to democracy. Listeners, it is the democracy. You heard it right. It is the democracy actually. When you listen to Deepasthan, when you listen to Dhammisthali, when you listen to Mamta doing something else, when you listen to our Home Minister doing something else, and our parties are literally playing with us at the same time, our mediocrity, our fourth pillar of the democracy shows us something else, then it does not only become important to democracy, but it is the democracy. It has to save us. Because when judiciary safeguards your rights, you need to understand that mediocrity safeguards you first of all. Anyway, let us head towards the next participant, Utkarsh.
Yes, now we are on the verge of our first round. So, the last but not the least, our next participant is one who is very confident, having lots of facts, data, and having strong argument holding with him. So he is none other than Ram. Are you there?
Good, good evening. Yes.
Hello, Ram. How are
Am I
you?
audible? Hello. Yeah, I'm doing
Yes,
great.
yes, you are
Little bit
perfectly.
excited.
Okay. Where is rest excitement?
Okay, it will come after the editorial.
Mr.
Okay,
Ram,
well.
Mr. Ram, I think there is some problem with your network connectivity. Can you please rejoin? Can you please rejoin for a moment, Mr. Ram? Thank you. And then please take us to the Ram Rajya, where inflation is
Now
not
I'm
that
audible.
much.
Hello.
Please once again, come again.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, now this time you're perfectly audible. Please continue. On a countdown of 3, 2, 1, you would be starting your speech. So 3, 2, 1, please start.
Good evening, everyone. Why is it that despite large-scale manufacturing in India, cheap and technology, prices of an iPhone remains higher here than in other emitting countries like Malaysia? This question points a complex factor beyond production cost that influences and offer a window into the deep inflation we see in everyday life. Undoubtedly, global commodities cost, volatile currencies, and logistics add strain. But the most common driver, as Mr. Phoenix said, is household purchasing behavior. Decentralized, governed by millions of factors, cultural norms, demographics, and institutions that leads to uncontrollable, and they are more persistent.
cities like and by mass flows of migrant seekers in jobs, education, and better opportunities has led to high demand certain market for housing and daily essentials. A demand-driven inflation that hard to neutralize. During the 2025 Diwali season, Indian households spend more than 5 lakh crore across goods and services. People and household choices are persistent and less predictable. But is that an unsolvable problem, a reason to be a critic, or a blessing in disguise? It's a lesson that the big countries like Korea and Japan who learn and who lean towards their own suppliers. We Indians should also develop similar awareness and patriotism by making smarter choices and guiding domestic industries. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Ram. Well, literally telling you, when I listen about Lord Ram, he is always very nice, very sweet, gentle, kind, generous, and blah blah. But the new Ram we are having here, oh my god, what a diabolical representation was that. I mean, when you started, I already told you that you're having some network problems, and after that, a person commented in the chat box that even the network cannot stop him, and that's true. Even the Mukesh Ambani tried his best. You must be using Jio. He tried his best, but he could not stop you to make your points. That is what we want today. This is why we are having this event, because here the voices will meet. And I know people are laughing in the comment section, but this is what the hosting is, right? People, we need some sarcasm in between. Let me tell you a fact also now, because the person said that this time no fact. No, we are having a fact now. We are having a fact. Yes, facts are important. Let's talk about healthcare. Healthcare costs in India are rising at about 14% annually. I will repeat it. Healthcare costs in India, people, are rising at about 14% annually. How much is it? 14%. 14. Overall, 62%. 62% of the healthcare expenses in our country collectively is still paid out of pockets by families. What do you understand by the term out of pockets by families? That means it's more than what they earn. That means it's more than what they earn. And next can be you. So this is the time we should work. We should launch a campaign. We should ask the government, the media, the journalism, the print, whatever it is, irrespective of anything, we have to come to a conclusive phase where inflation will not kill us, but we will eat the inflation. Let's see. Let's have the next participant.
Nikhil, actually, we are done with all the participants and successfully we have completed round 1. So we
Okay.
are, we are
please,
now
Utkarsh,
heading to, we are now heading to round 2. I hope all audiences, all participants and judges as well. And fortunately, I didn't forget the name of Nikhil, my host. Must have enjoyed the round 1, right?
Obviously, undoubtedly, I've enjoyed a lot, and I've learned a lot of things from our meticulous speakers. And judges must have introduced themselves to a different zone today, where they are going to head into a zone where they will be perplexed and intricate by these ideas.
Obviously. Although the content, the thing was not, it was not my cup of tea, but yes, I learned a lot from round 1. Now heading to the round 2. So, all right. So let me tell you the format, how the round 2 will unfold. So basically, this round is all about panel agenda. That is team agenda round. There will be again 12 participants with the team formation. There are 4 teams having 3 members in each team. Okay. So in this, what they will be presenting their agenda. So we have 4 teams, 4 agendas given to them. Like Team A having the agenda fuel and global factors. Team B, gold, rupee, and currency. Team C is having agenda policy and instruction, RBI's role. And last team D having agenda people and daily life. So we have captain of each team, okay, and 2 members there. So they'll be presenting their agenda like a kind of, it's a discussion, and they'll be presenting their agenda. There will be their conclusion, solution, and statement over there. So it's all about team formation, and it's collective editorial thinking. It's not individual round. So I hope, Nikhil sir, would you say something?
Yeah, definitely, Utkarsh. I was just waiting to get a turn, but I know you are a fabulous speaker. So you were so eager to tell everything to the people. But yes, people, you heard it right. Whatever she said, that was factually correct, not incorrect. That was factually and evidentially correct. So let's head towards the second round. Let's invite the first team, and let's see how coherent, how compelling, and how nuanced this multidimensionally holistic discussion is going to take place. What emerging ideas we are going to generate from that. Let's invite the first team with an agenda coming on fuel and global factors, headed by the Captain Amog. You there?
Yeah, Nikhil.
Please.
So in this round, me and Darshini will be participating from our team. So yeah, with the start of timer, we will be beginning.
Can I have the timer, Mr. Saksham? The Saksham, I'm so sorry. I need to add the. It's unique in this world. Can I have the timer, Mr.? Thank you. So with the countdown of 3, loudly crying face. Yeah, that's correct. This is known as sunk cost fallacy. Okay. So let's start now with a countdown of 3. Can I have the cursor on the start button, please?
Just a minute, Nikhil. The timer is for 4 minutes, right?
Yeah, the timer is going to be for 4 minutes. Can we have the timer changed from 2 to 4? Can we see that metamorphosing on live? Great. So the timer for this time, no timer, I'm so sorry. I will again repeat it. The time duration for this time for per team is going to be 4 minutes in max. In max means you can even stop at 350, 3.5, right? Let's start it now. 3, 2, 1. Here you go.
The price of dependence. Why India must inoculate itself against global shocks. Inflation in India is often debated as a failure of domestic policy. We blame the rains for vegetable prices. We blame taxes for fuel costs. But a deeper dissection of the economy reveals a starker truth. India's inflation is not just homegrown, it is imported. The true architect of our price instability sits thousands of miles away. It hides in the oil rigs of the Middle East. It lurks in the shipping lanes of the Red Sea. It is decided in the boardrooms of the global oil cartels. India's economic vulnerability has a single terrifying number, 87.8%. This is the percentage of crude oil requirements that India currently imports. We do not fuel our own economy, we buy our survival from others. This heavy dependence turns India into a passive victim of global chaos. The global hostage. Fuel is not just a commodity, it is the blood of the modern economy. When war breaks out in Europe or tensions flare in West Asia, globe crude price hike. For India, the impact is immediate and brutal. Consider the mathematics of this vulnerability. A $10 increase in global crude oil prices typically widens India's current account deficit by roughly 0.5% of GDP. It effectively transfers India's wealth to oil exporting nations. We are essentially importing inflation barrel by barrel. Policymakers face an impossible choice. They can pass the cost to the consumer, sparking their anger, or they can cut excise duties, draining the public exchequer. Both options carry a heavy price. The diesel food nexus. The conversation often focuses on petrol prices for cars. This is a mistake. The real inflationary killer is diesel. Diesel accounts for nearly 40% of India's refined fuel consumption. It powers the trucks that carry our food. It runs the tractors that plows our fields. It fuels the trains that moves our coal. When global oil prices rise, truck unions increase freight charges. This acts like a hidden tax on every kilogram of onions, rice, or milk. This is cost push inflation. It is sticky and stubborn. Even if oil prices later cool down, freight rates rarely drop as quickly. The consumer continues to pay the premium. Furthermore, the modern agriculture is an energy guzzler. Fertilizer prices are directly linked to the global natural gas markets. When gas prices soar due to Russia cutting its oil supply or a gas supply, India's fertilizer subsidy bill balloons, crossing 2.55 lakh crore in recent years. Food inflation, therefore, is largely fuel inflation in disguise.
The path to survivability. What is the solutions? It is not cheaper oil. It is the less oil. India cannot control OPEC plus producers' cuts. It cannot stop missiles in the Red Sea, but it can control its exposures to them. Energy self-resilience is no longer just an environmental slogan. It is a strict economic necessity. The roadmap is clear but requires aggressive executions. Firstly, ethanol blending. We must hit the 20% blending target to turn domestic sugar funds into fuel security. Secondly, electrifications. Shifting freight from diesel truck to electrical rails coordinates is critical. Thirdly, green hydrogens. This is the game changer. By producing hydrogens from domestic solar energy, we can tubulate our fertilizers and steel industrial from volatile global gas markets. Conclusions: the cost of inaction is too high. It is a measuring lost confidence and economic virility. Inflation driven by global shocks is a loud warning bell. It is telling us that true economic strength lies in resilience, not dependence. To secure stable price of the Indian family, we must first secure Indian energy. The path forward is to inoculate our economic against the fever of global oil markets. We must stop importing our path. Yes, I have done. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So our first round's agenda is done. We're done with the first round's, we're done with the first team's agenda that was headed or that was anchored by our Amok. What a name, Amok. Amok comes with an ocean of knowledge, intellectuality. Within 4 minutes, they have told us the factual reporting of last 400 years, that how this crude oil is killing us. India imports about 85% of crude oil, and that is priced in US dollars. And people, do we know effect now? Do we know effect? And the fact is that US is trying, or maybe it has already imposed, but in numbers, it's 500% tariffs on us. And India imports about 50% of its crude oil. So every time India imports some crude, it rises the dollars and it weakens the rupee. We literally import inflation, barrel by barrel. That was said by whom? Our beloved anchor of the team A, Amok. That was literally emphatic. I have a term for you, mister. And the term is, it was theoretically grounded. Yes, it was theoretically grounded. Now let me invite the second team on the stage, people. Let me invite the second team. Yep, here we go. So the second team would be anchored by Mr. Batman. Oh my God, some fantasies are now in real-time action. Some mythological characters are here. Some fictional characters are also here. Let us see, are they killing only in the movies, or do they also kill on the stage in real time? Through what? Through verbal connection. by asking a question to the government and practicing true form of mediocrity in journalism. And the agenda is going to be gold, rupee, and currency. Let's see how these three terms will be complemented together by these people of Team B. Batman, you there?
Yes, Nikhil, I'm audible.
Yes, mister, you're completely audible. You cannot be audible more than this, honestly.
Yes,
Okay.
so from our side, it's Lone Warrior, Mr. Offender is going to represent. So he'll be throughout speaking for 4 minutes for this specific
Well,
topic.
that's incredible. That's incredible, but I hope so that he's going to offend us. He's going to only offend the journalism, is only going to offend the government, is only going to offend the inflation. But please do not offend us, offender. Let's start it, people. Can I have a countdown? Can I have a countdown? Can I have a countdown? Can I have the cursor on that start button, Mr. Saksham? Okay. So 3, 2, 1, start.
Respected judges, honorable host, and my dear audience, good evening everyone. I am Offender and I am here to present my agenda on inflation in India. When Team B sat down to discuss this topic, the room went quiet. We realized we were not looking at a local fire. We were looking at a storm that was coming from across the ocean. We debated, we argued on this, but the conclusion was unanimous. We are not fighting our own mistakes. We are not fighting our own mistakes. We are paying for the world's chaos. We often blame the shopkeeper for the price of onions. But today, I'm here to tell you that the thief stealing value from your pocket is not in your local market. He's sitting in a central bank in America or standing on an oil ridge in the Middle East. So, here is our Team B's agenda on how external winds are shaking the foundation of our rupee, our gold, and our savings. Number 1, the rupee, who is the victim of gravity. In our discussion, we realized that the rupee is like a boat that is trying to sail upstream. We work hard, our economy grows at 7% to 8%. Yet, our currency keeps sliding. Why? Why is this? Because of a villain called the strong dollar. The United States Federal Reserve, it keeps its interest rate high, over 5%. This acts like a giant magnet, which is pulling money away from India and giving back to America. What is the result? The rupee gasps for air, touching historic lows of 83 rupees and rupees 84 against the dollar. Since we buy 85% of our crude oil from outside, every time the rupee slips by 1 rupee. The price of petrol, diesel, and transport, it goes up. We are importing the world's inflation directly into our kitchens. We are paying a tax to the strength of the dollar. Now talking about the gold. Team B believes that gold is India's fear coach. When the world gets scary, when war break out in Ukraine or Gaza, investors go to panic. They stop trusting the paper money and run to the metal. This global panic has pushed the gold prices to dizzying heights, crossing 75,000 to 80,000 rupees per 10 grams. When global uncertainty it rises, our import bill swells. Recently, India's gold import surged, costing us billions of dollars in foreign exchange. We are bleeding money just to feel safe. Finally, the most emotional tragedy, the Indian saver. But the external world has broken this promise. Because oil prices are high and supply chains are broken globally, everything costs more. To maintain the same lifestyle, the common man is dipping into his savings. The data is heartbreaking. The Reserve Bank of India, it recently pledged that net household financial savings have dropped to nearly 5.3% of GDP, the lowest in the decades. Think about that. The Indian middle class is not saving, they are just surviving. We are borrowing more to stay afloat. Household debt is rising because the cost of living, which are driven by the global forces, it is eating our income faster than we can earn it. So, this is Team B stance. The inflation we face today is not homegrown. It is an uninvited guest. The dollar is bullying our rupee. The global war spike our gold bills. The external cost erode our savings. We are swimming in a sea where the waves are controlled by someone else. We are resilient. Yes, we are. But we are also paying the price for a war we didn't start and a policy we didn't write. I leave you with this thought to ponder. If a decision made in Washington, it determines the price of the milk in your fridge, are we truly an independent economy? Or are we just economic hostages to the dollar? Thank you.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. I mean, I am in a situation of awe. I mean, how can such a person exist with so much commanding voice that is so much sweet, so eloquent, so rhetoric? I was completely appeased. I inhaled your content, honestly. I inhaled your content. You know, offender, this time you did not offend us. I have a term for you, mister. I have a term for you. You can tell people that Nikhil has told me a term and this is how I speak. You have a sonorously commanding voice. You have a sonorously commanding voice. You have a rhetorically magnanimous. You are a rhetorically magnanimous orator. Honestly, like everyone, even the judges were commenting in the comment section with fire emoji. That means you set the fire, but this time without using kerosene oil. Without using kerosene oil, you set the stage on fire. But before we head to the next theme, I want to tell one thing to everyone. You know, bad journalism is more dangerous than no journalism. But today, it's not about bad journalism. It's only about the intricate journalism. It's all about detangled journalism. It's all about someone who wants to express his opinions. I ask people to stay tuned with us. Let's move to the next team. But offender, I mean, that was just amazing. Just amazing. Thank you. Yes, Utkarsh, please invite the next team, please.
Yep, that was great panel, Team A. Which was anchored by Amog. It was amazing. Now we are moving to Team B, whose agenda is gold, rupee, and currency. Let's see how this panel
No. There is some. Okay, you need to invite the Team C, my dear. I guess you were completely lost in what offender said. You were quite matriculated by that. That is the reason you're forgotten now. It is the Team C, my dear. Now please invite Team C. Please do the honors for me.
Okay, well. Maybe I just mistaken with his influence. Okay, now let's move to the Team C, whose agenda is policy and instructions, RBI's role. So who is anchored? This Team C is anchored by Preet. So please welcome Team C. Are you there?
Yeah, we are here. From our team, me and Sanrachika would be representing.
Okay, well, you can start with countdown of 3.
Yeah, but before we start the countdown, can I have the timer, please? Can I have the timer? Can someone please turn on the timer for us? Anyone? Where is Mr. Saksham? Can I have the timer turned on? Technical difficulties. Okay. Any other person?
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, please. I'm so sorry, people. I'm literally very sorry. You know, technical difficulties are a part of our life and they occur. They literally occur every time. Even in summers, you really want to have air-conditioned room, but at the same time, your AC loses its gas. And then you need to instill nitrogen in it. You need to fill it with nitrogen, people. That is what technical difficulty is. And we are facing the same technical difficulty, but in an IT term. In an IT term, we are facing the technical difficulty. And that is what? The timer. Fine. I know people are laughing at my hosting right now. I'm not a good host, but please, Tajashwa, can I have the timer now? Can I have the timer now? Show must go on. Yes, you're right. The show must go on. The show must go on. Right. Please.
Okay, well, timer is coming. Wait, audience, now.
By the way, people, let the timer come, and I'm so sorry for my dear Preet. I'm extremely very sorry. I know you have a very white heart and you won't be actually consulting negatively on us. Please stay tuned for a moment. I want to tell a very funny thing to people. A person earlier came with a fact, a philosophical fact, a philosophical guided advice. And that was what? It was that dollar bullies rupees. After that, a thought came to my mind that if dollar bullies the rupees, and at the same time, Trump bullies are Mr. Modi. Guess what? And that's how it is connected with each other. Anyway, people, we have the timer now. Let's start it. And so sorry for that inconvenience in between. Yes, Mr. Tajeshwar, can I have the cursor on the start? I would be counting down 3 to 1 and then Preet. 3, 2, 1, start.
Good evening. We are Team C, presenting policy and institutions. Really, inflation is just a global problem? Supply shocks, wars, easy explanations, right? But here we are, watching prices climb at home. Maybe it's time we actually look inward at our own policies. Our agenda is simple. Let's see how the RBI, interest rate, and government spending are actually shaping inflation. Are they helping or working against each other? 4% target, 2 to 6% band, and yet we keep flirting with the upper limit. Coincidence? I don't think so. The problem is, as we see it, it is a policy imbalance. RBI, it tightens, government spend, push, pull, repeat. And what happens? Inflation, it doesn't even budge. That's exactly what we are unpacking today. See, this isn't just a theory. India follows a formal inflation targeting framework where the RBI, it aims to maintain inflation at 4% with a tolerance band of 2 to 6%. Yet, in recent years, inflation frequently hovers near the upper limit, a clear sign that domestic policy coordination matters more than blame. It is this imbalance, not the absence of policy tool, that frames our discussion today.
Let's first look at interest rates. Since 2022, the RBI has raised the repo rate to above 6% to contain inflation. However, this tool has limits in India. Food and fuel together accounts for nearly 45% of the consumer price index, and interest rate hikes do not directly reduce these prices. Instead, higher borrowing costs slows MSMEs, private investments and employment, while inflation remains sticky. At the same time, expansionary government spending increases consumption demand without a matching rise in productivity, reinforcing inflationary pressures.
So what should India prioritize? Strong coordination? Sounds obvious, right? Yet surprisingly hard to get right. Interest rate can restrain demand. Government spending can support growth. But when these policies move in opposite direction, surprise, inflation sticks around. So our take, disciplined alignment, productivity-led spending, policy in sin, infrastructure, logistics, agriculture, spending here eases supply pressures and it keeps prices stable. To conclude, inflation is not just an economic indicator. It is a reflection of institutional discipline. When policies align, inflation moderates. When they don't, Everyone feels the pinch. That is the editorial verdict of Team C, and we are signing off here.
Wow. We are signing off here, and Mr. Nikhil is signing in here. Thank you for signing off so that I can sign in. But I would say that was one of the most powerful sign-ins the Indians have witnessed ever in the history. And that was not rhetoric at all. That was not appeasement. That was clearly factual. You know, after listening to you both, because you both were females, I have a quote in my mind that brains and beauty are not opposites. Let me tell you, brains and beauty are not opposites. They are the perfect equation of influence and elegance. They are the perfect equation of what? Influence and elegance. I have another quote for you. That beauty draws the eye, people, especially for the females. Beauty draws the eye, but wisdom captures the mind. Beauty draws the eye, but wisdom captures the mind. And they both rules the conversation. And that's what these two ladies have done today by signing off with a very powerful editorial guidance, suggestion, recommendation, and a powerful rhetoric quote. Let's head into the next team. Utkarsh.
Okay, we have our next team whose agenda is people and daily life, which is anchored by Captain Axton. So, in this team, we are presenting Team D. Are we having Team D?
Yes.
Okay, well.
I'm here, ma'am.
Yes, Axton. Thank you for coming to the stage now. You would be starting, but can I have the confirmation that how many people would be taking part from your side? Maximum only 2 can, but still I want a confirmation on the names.
2. Sorry, 1. Me and Priyanshu. Means 2.
And obviously in countdown it would be 2. In total it would be 2 people. So yeah, from Team D, for the last team of the round 2, we are having 2 speakers here, and they are going to elucidate their agendas here. Please extend with a countdown of 3, but Winsome, this screenshot is not visible right now. Can you please fix it? Can you please fix it, my dear? Can you please fix it? Thank you so much, Aditya Kumar. People, let me first of all commend Aditya. He has done a phenomenal work on building our website along with the English learners team of IT. He is the guiding light for our technical team. He is the professor of IT for us. He is the savior of us. Anyway, let us start now. The last team's agenda. Extern. 3, 2, 1, start.
Okay. So, honorable judges, respected opponents, and the audience. Inflation is usually discussed in percentages, policy notes, and budget speeds. But let me begin with a simple question. When prices rise every month, but incomes do not, who really pays the price? For millions of Indians, inflation is not an abstract economic term. It is the moment a mother skips vegetables, a farmer delays buying fertilizer, or a daily wage worker postpones medical care. As Mahatma Gandhi once reminded us, the true measure of any society can be found in how it treats its most vulnerable members. Today, inflation is testing that measure. Milk, pulses, cooking oil, these are not luxuries, yet their prices rise faster than wages. So, Priyanshu, I have another uncomfortable question for you. If prices can rise overnight, why do wages take years to catch up?
Good evening to all of you. Yes, extent this widening wage price gap affect everyone, but it hurt the poor the most. Not because they consume more, but because they have no saving to absorb the shock. A middle classes family cuts comfort. A poor family cuts nutrition. Now consider the rural-urban divided. Urban India experience inflation as the inconvenience. Rural India experience as a compulsion, rise diesel cost, expensive fertilizer, and push farmer deeper into debt. So we must finally ask, is inflation merely an economic imbalance or a social injustice? Because inflation doesn't stay conformed to market. It travels from the kitchen to cleans, from field to factory, from balance sheet to human lives. To conclude, inflation may be debated in policy rooms, but it lived in the home, farm, and street. And until wage rise with the price, until growth restore real purchasing power, we must remember an economy grows strong not when numbers improve, but when people can afford to live with dignity. With that quote, note, I would like to invite my teammate Exton.
Okay. As Ludwig von Mises once said, the government. Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, go on, no worries. It's completely fine. It's okay, Exton. You have your time left. Please continue with your last conclusive argument. Please. It's okay when everyone make mistakes. Nothing to be worried of it. Yeah.
Okay, so at the last I was supposed to add that this rising pressure is not just a financial, it's emotional. Families constantly adjust to their lifestyles, giving up dreams, entertainment, even personal choices. And yet society praises the resilience of wage earners, as if surviving constant financial stress is some kind of achievement. So therefore, India must prioritize wage growth and strategies that ensure households can meet essential expenses without losing their individuality. Families deserve stability, security, and dignity. Inflation should not dictate the quality of life because at the end of the day, money is important, but living fully with choice, freedom, and dignity is priceless. Thank you.
Okay. So that was the last team from the second round. And you know, that gap was important, people. Literally. The gap they took, I don't know whether that was an intentional gap or an inadvertent gap, but it was important. It was important for you to feel, first of all, the data. You're only getting burdened with the data every time. When will you get the time to feel that? You have to find an emotional connectivity to the data also. That is what true journalism is. And that's what Exton has told us. You need to have a gap in between to feel the data. Let's structurize our third round. But before that, let me tell you a few things. It's important for us. By the time people for the third round will be active, especially the participants, by that time, even our difficulty in the technical terms, that is our timer will also be fixed maybe, or maybe we will be having a dynamical transition after that of timer. But before that, let me tell you one thing, that people, there is an unknown quote. And the unknown quote is this, that without journalism, without media, authority operates unchecked. Isn't it very powerful? Without journalism, authority operates unchecked. And there is one more quote, that a journalist's first obligation is to the truth. That means when you go to the court, when you ask, let's say you are convicted of any particular case, oh sorry, not convicted, but let's say a case has been inflicted on you, or you're being imposed with a case, then you are simply asked a question that you will speak the truth. So it's not about court, but it's about the media now, that the first responsibility, I would say a dignified moral responsibility of any person who belongs to this community of journalism is to speak truth. But is it present right now? Is everyone you see on TV news, on different media panels, this social media manipulating? Are all the people speaking truth? Are they spitting the facts to us? That is the question. People, yesterday only I heard a particular fact about West Bengal. Things are literally getting unfolded in a very bad manner. Who is going to show this news? Well, we'll be having that traction movement. When are we going to get the answers to our questions? When? Yes, Mr. Monser, that is IPAC. That is IPAC. Our country not only deals with inflation, people, that kills your pockets. Our country, first of all, deals with the erosion of your democracy. That's what we deal with. That's what we live in. But anyway, now we would be heading towards the third round of our event, or I would say the conclusive round of our event. Let me start. Let's have the third round. The third round is kind of a different typical round. The title of this round is the newsroom floor. I will again repeat. The title of this round is the newsroom floor. Well, by the title itself, it's very evident. It's very inevitable as a fact to digest and understand and comprehend that a floor will be provided to the participants, and on that floor, they are going to dance against the government. They are going to dance against the public, which has completely appeased of political ideologies. They are going to dance against the agendas that they are going to put in front of the public. That's what the newsroom is. That's what the flooring of the newsroom is. Now let's head towards the basic framework of this round, people. This is first of all the final round, but this time it's not the teams. This time we have a different structure. Channels. Yes, channels. This round will be consisting of 4 different channels, and the team structure is going to be like this. 1 anchor in every channel, and then 2 reporters in every channel. So all the 3 people would be present on the stage, and they will be giving you a live editorial analysis. They would be asking questions. They would be multidimensionally talking on their agenda-driven ideologies. That's what they are going to do. This is what our round third is, or the conclusive round. And the time limit for every team in this round is 8 minutes per team. That is max. They can even stop up to 7:30. But the maximum time limit is 8. 8 into 6 is 480 seconds, if I'm not wrong factually. And the format of this particular event is, this entire round is, anchor will steer the discussion, and then reporters will deliver the coverage. Then after that, there would be a questioning, answering style newsroom flow. In that flow, obviously, they are going to dance on the floor, the newsroom floor. And multiple segments will be displayed on the screen during this round. Let's see. Let's invite the first channel. But before that, let me first of all confirm, was I clearly audible when I was giving such kind of rhetoric speeches, when I was making people try to laugh? Was I audible?
Yes, my host, you are audible, perfectly audible.
Okay, my dear. Okay, so now let's move with the first channel on the stage, Planet Pulse. And their agenda is weather and environment. Yes, it's not always inflation. People, we deal with a lot of climate crisis in Mumbai, in Kolkata. The sea levels are rising every day. Who are going to ask questions on these? For that, we have this round. Can I have the first channel on this stage? Planet Pulse. Is the anchor present?
Come here.
Yes. Extend stage is yours. Can I have the timer? Winsome, this VC screen is not. Yeah, please. Thank you so much. Can I? Okay, it has already been set to 8 minutes per team. Can I have that cursor on the start button so that I can count down to 3, 2, 1? Okay. So 3, 2, 1. Extend. The stage is yours. Please dance on the floor.
Pay attention, everybody. Good evening. You're watching EL Newsroom, uh, ne- Newsroom from Planet First channel, where we bring you not noise but news that matters. I'm Exton, and tonight we bring you the stories shaping our planet, our people, and the future. With me are our field reporters Ram and Priyanshu, tracking two of the most urgent environmental stories unfolding right now. Let's begin with our first headline. So we will join from our India desk would be Ram reporting on growing environmental concern affecting millions across the country. And from our global desk, Priyanshu, who will be tracking a climate emergency that's drawing worldwide attention. Because weather is no longer just about rain or sunshine, it's about survival. So first I'll talk with the Ram. So Ram, what is your opinions about this concern? Ram, are you there? Okay, so let's move with the Priyanshu. Priyanshu, what's your opinions about this concern? Audience wants to know.
Priyanshu, are you there?
Okay, fine. So we can do one thing now. Since two people are facing network discrepancies and we haven't headed to this particular team round till the conclusion of it, we can do one thing. Organizers, can we do one thing? Can we ask the second channel to come in? And then when this network discrepancy will be fixed, then we will move with this team. Yeah, let's do that. Because, people, when you talk about inflation, you talk about money. Who will talk about the time? Time is precious. There is a person who said a very powerful quote that your time is equivalent to the money you earn, or your money is equivalent to the time you have. So let's do one thing. Let's invite the second channel. But for that, I would be asking Utkarsh to do the pleasure, because obviously I can't take the entire lead, or else she would be saying Nikhil is so eager to say everything on his own.
Okay, well said. I was thinking like that, obviously. Okay, so moving to the next channel, Global Frontline. The agenda of this channel is world event and conflicts. So the anchor of this channel is Preet, with his reporters Sandrachika and Phoenix. Are we have this team here?
Yeah, we are here.
Okay, well, are you
Let
ready?
me ask my team if they're here, Sandrachika and Phoenix. Are you guys there?
Yes, they are present.
All
They are
right.
responding in the comment
Yes,
section.
all right. Can we have our PPT if Saksham or Leo is here so we can start smoothly? All right, so yeah, you can have the countdown, so we'll start.
Okay, so let's head to the first
Actually, give me 2 minutes. Give me because the reason is you provided one presentation, so I'm just trying to download. After that, I will share the screen. So just give me 2 minutes till host can engage the audience.
Well, Leo, Aditya has already shared the presentation on the screen share on VC. So we can do one thing, Leo. You can take this stage for the next round. For this round, obviously the time cannot be wasted here. Let's head in for the first participation of the first channel. Already we have wasted a lot of time. So yes, Preet. 3, 2, 1, start.
Good evening and welcome to Global Frontline Live. I'm Preet, bringing you real-time coverage of the global developments shaping headlines across the world. From intensifying conflicts to their economic ripple effects, our newsroom breaks down not just what's happening, but why it matters. Before we begin, let me introduce our newsroom team so viewers can follow each segment clearly. Phoenix covers the World Affairs Desk, reporting the latest on global conflicts and international tensions. Sanrachika is at the Business Desk, analyzing how geopolitical developments are impacting global markets. Let's begin with our top developing story. Our top story tonight: Gaza fighting intensifies as ceasefire efforts falter. Phoenix has the details.
Hi. The fighting in Gaza has intensified over recent weeks, with renewed military operations and little progress on ceasefire negotiations. Civilians' casualties continue to rise and thousands remain displaced amid severe shortages of food, medical aid, and electricity. The United Nations has repeatedly warned that the humanitarian situation is worsening, describing conditions on the ground as increasingly unsustainable. What makes this conflict particularly critical is the risk of regional escalation. Rising tensions could draw in neighboring actors, further destabilizing an already volatile region. Despite international pressure, diplomatic efforts have so far failed to produce a breakthrough, keeping the situation highly fluid.
Phoenix, why is this conflict especially concerning for the international community right now?
Because prolonged instability here threatens global peace and diplomatic balance. It also risks disrupting trade routes and energy security, with consequences far beyond the region itself.
Now, let's turn to the economic fallout of these rising geopolitical tensions. Sanrachika is tracking market responses from the Global Frontline Business Desk.
Global markets have reacted sharply to escalating geopolitical tensions with increased volatility across major indices. Oil prices remain under pressure amid concerns over supply disruptions, while investor confidence has weakened in several regions. Developing economies are particularly vulnerable, facing currency fluctuations and rising import costs. Market analysts warn that uncertainty rather than immediate losses poses the biggest risk as businesses delay investments and governments face growing fiscal pressure.
Sanrachika, are these market reactions temporary or could they signal a longer-term economic strain?
If geopolitical tensions persist, these impacts could extend beyond the short term. Long-term stability will depend heavily on diplomatic resolution and policy responses.
What today's coverage highlights is a deeply interconnected world where conflicts quickly translate into economic and global consequences. As tension remains high, the coming weeks will be crucial in determining whether diplomacy prevails or uncertainty deepens. That's all from Global Frontline tonight. Thank you for watching.
Okay. So we are done with the first participation of the channel. Well, people, that was a mini version of EL Studio, English Learners Studio, where voices were heard, questions were asked, and opinions were shared. I have a few things that I need to tell people. And by the way, the team that is going to be the next, that is of Amok. So be ready with that. I don't want to listen. There are some problems of network. Yes, because time is important. So, people, I want to tell you a few things. When we talk about these major wars, people are dying in such kind of crisis of humanitarian. We are leading ourselves. Recently, we have also heard news from Bangladesh where a Hindu was burnt. He was strolled. He was shuttered to the death. Let me tell you a few things. There are more than 60,000 people killed in this Palestinian or Gaza or Israel-Hamas war. 60,000. Can you imagine? 60,000 people have been evaded, have been erupted, have been diluted from the world. They have been uprooted from the society of the world. They are no more. Their people who were connected to them, their friends, their family members, and other people. This is very overwhelming negatively. This is very heart-wrenching that they are no more. Just imagine a person dies in your family and you're crying for last 6 months. Just imagine now 60,000 families are crying there. 60,000 family. Let me tell you one more thing. By United Nations, a figure has been displayed that there have been 14,000 civilian deaths up to 2025 in this Russia-Ukraine war. 14,000. Now add this 14,000 to that 60,000. How much is it? 74,000. Let's do one more thing. Let's talk about Sudan civil war. 20 to 30,000 have been killed. Let's add to that 104,000 and many more that I'm not counting right now. That means 104,000 people have been killed in this particular era only. And we call this modern era. We call this globalized era. We call this era of democracy. And people, these so-called big tycoons, World Bank, IMF, UN, UNDP, UNSC, IGRP, IUCN, they always talk about environment. They always talk about non-proliferation TT. But they are the only people who supply nuclear weapons. They are the only people who create problems for the environment. They are the only people who create problems for the people. 104,000. Just imagine a person dies in your family. Your entire families cry for next 12 months. Now how their families would have been treated. This is only the loss of life. I am not even counting the loss of dignity, loss of poverty. There are many more things that we are going to cover today, but we literally need some understanding. We need to provide some worth to public's life. Some penny, only some penny, not more than that. Anyway, that's it. Let's move to the next round now. Let's move to the next round. Okay. Can I have Utkarsh here? Can you please invite the next channel?
Okay, I guess we have already invited our next channel, which is present the team leader Amog, right?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
Okay.
Okay, on
So
the countdown of 3. Okay, on the countdown of 3, you can start.
Okay, just a minute. I'll check on my teammates once. Gurbani and Darshini, are you there?
Sir, we are here.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay, Utkarsh, you can start.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Please start the timer.
Fair, balanced, and unafraid. I welcome you to our channel, Market Metrics. Tonight, we move beyond the headlines to the bottom line. From market volatility to the policies shaping your wallet. We're dedicating the next few minutes to business and the economy. It has been a tumultuous week on Dalal Street, and today is no different. We are tracking the nervous energy as the Sensex and Nifty struggle to hold ground. Reason? The potential US tariff actions and the relentless exit of foreign funds. To help us navigate this, we are joined by Darshini at the Bombay Stock Exchange. Darshini, The Nifty slipped below the 25,900 mark this morning, and the mood remains cautious. Are we seeing any signs of recovery, or is the Trump tariff fear completely dominating the floor?
Right, Amu. It's a nervous floor here. That's 25,900 mark for the Nifty has indeed cracked, and we are seeing the Sensex struggle to stay above 84,100 too. Answer your questions. The Trump tariff fear isn't just a shadow; it's the primary driver. Trade desk chatter is dominated by the Russia Sanctions Act. Even the sales of its retellants. Foreign companies have pulled out over rupees 7,000 crore already this month heading back to US. Treasuries investors deal risings ahead of any formal trade announcement from Washington. Back to
A
you.
grim, a grim picture there, Darshini. It's clear that while domestic fundamentals are strong, the external tariff tantrum is currently the louder narrative for the street. So, viewers, moving away from the equity markets, we are shifting focus to the domestic economy. Despite the market volatility, India's December industrial output figures have shown a surprising uptick. And the focus is now squarely on the union budget, which is just weeks away. To take us deeper into the policy room and the government's counter strategy, let's go to Gurbani in New Delhi. Gurbani, we are hearing that Commerce Ministry is already in crisis management mode. At the same time, we have the first advanced estimates for the year's GDP out. So how is North Block balancing this?
That's right, Amol. The mood in North Block is one of cautious deficits, despite the 50% tariff already in play and the looming threat of the Russia Sanctions Act. The government's latest advanced estimates are surprisingly optimistic. Commerce Ministry is currently walking a tightrope. The government just released the first advanced estimate, peeping GDP growth at 7.4% of financial year 2026. They are beating that massive public spending on infrastructure and a 7.8% jump in private investment will act a domestic shock absorber to offset the export losses in textiles and gems. So, while the last street is in a panic, New Delhi is leaning heavily into the Atmanirbhar self-reliant playbook to ensure the domestic engine keeps humming. Back to you at the desk.
That would be like a fascinating wait and watch game from the capital then, Gurbani. So let's shift the lens back to business. AI explosion is across the Indian boardrooms. It's no longer about simple chatbots. We are talking about autonomous systems that are actually running businesses. We are hearing that companies like Zomato and Zepto are using AI agents to manage hyper-local demand. How are these AI-driven efficiencies actually changing the bottom lines for these businesses? Darshini, give us your views on this.
You have hit on the most attractive part of the strong story, Amok. This shift we are seeing its from experimental AI to ROI driven AI. AI is no longer a tech exports but a margins protectors with the Ruby under pressures and global tariffs rising. Companies are rising AI, designs automations to slash overhead and stay competitive. The message from the floor is clear. If your business isn't AI augmented by the end of 2026, you are not just beyond, you are absolute. Back to you.
So it's clear that AI is no longer just a tech story. But let's widen the lens. India doesn't exist in a vacuum, and today the global signals are flashing amber. So let's have a bird eye over the world economy as well. United Nations has just released its 2026 World Economic Situation Report, and the numbers are sobering. Global growth is projected to slow down to 2.7%, down from 2.8% last year, and the world settles into a low growth trap fueled by trade fragmentation and massive debt. To understand how India plans to stay as an island of growth in this cooling global arena, let's go back to Gurbani in New Delhi. Gurbani, the UN says India will still be the world's fastest growing major economy at 6.6%. With the global trade engine slowing down, how is North Block looking to pivot?
You have hit on the core of India's new global strategy. The sentiment here in the capital is one of calculated diversification. While the UN has slightly tempered our growth forecast, the government is looking at the global showdown as an opportunity to divide our trade routes. The plus one trade pilot is being railed on through trade agreements with Europe, the UK, and Oman, so that our 18% export deficiency on the USA be reduced. Combining this with depth and physical discipline, the capital is not just watching the global storm, it is building a domestic fortress to outlast it. Back to you.
Well, looking at today's news, we can say from the frantic screens of Dalal Street to the policy rooms of New Delhi, the message is clear. India is no longer just reacting to the global economy, it is attempting to outrun it. While the world slows down to a 2.7% crawl, India is doubling down on domestic resilience. The government is betting on a 7.4% growth engine and strong public capex to outrun the global trade slump. The takeaway is clear. The global weather is rough, but India's vessel is sturdy. It is steering away from the external shocks towards a self-reliant horizon. And that wraps up our coverage for this hour. So, from all of us, thank you for your time and your trust. I am Amok, and I want you guys to stay tuned to get more wonderful insights from my fellow media franchises. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, that was literally ideational. Ideational means that when you present amazing ideas, you are just conceptually robust. You were astute, you were resonant, you were comprehensive, you were perspicacious. I could see that people were commenting literally. Yes, Ash, really, 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 really. They were. Weren't they? Tell me. Weren't they? People tell me, first of all, I was. Soldier, it's not about you, my dear. It's about the team, the channel. True, they were. Literally, they were. Okay. So, I'm just fine. So, we have a subtle change because our first channel is still facing a problem. Yeah. So, first team is still facing a problem. So, we are going to head towards the next team that is going to talk about technology and artificial intelligence. But before that, let us have something about a few particular fact, because they talked about what the market analysis. Do you people know that how stock market is so volatile? And this volatility was used by a particular firm that was Hindenburg. You know what Hindenburg used to do? It used to first of all make a research report, and it used to publish it internationally. Then there would be a stock market crash of that particular company's stock prices. They would just simply buy that. After some time, the stock prices will go up, and then they will sell the stocks. That's how they used to play. Well, I don't say that every time they played, but I would say that most of the times they have played. That's what even the elite society does here. When you look at Ambani, Adani, these people, what do you think? They don't know how the market works? Well, you don't know how the market works. They, first of all, are the workers of the market. Anyway, let's move forward. Let's move forward with the next team of us. But for that, I would be inviting my co-host, one of the moderators of this event, Utkarsh Priyadarshini. Can I have the next channel here, please?
Yep. Okay. Yes. We have our next channel, Planet Pulse, where the planet will speak and the rest world will listen. The agenda of this channel is weather and environment, which is anchored by.
Okay, there is a subtle change. That's why I said this thing. That I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut in between. See, people, we are also human beings, and I apologize for the behalf of, for me first of all, and then from the entire organization, that there is a subtle change. And the change is this, that since the planet whirls, well, the planet doesn't face any problem of connections right now, but the team itself is facing. So for that reason, we would be moving towards this another team, another channel. So
I think
Utkarsh, can
I'm
I?
audible. I think I'm not facing a problem right
You're not
now.
facing any
So
problem. So can we
yeah,
can
yes,
we move with you, my dears?
yeah, yes, yeah.
Okay. So then,
Have
Utkarsh, you are
invited the
completely
right.
pumped. Yes. Yeah. Please continue.
Okay, well, we have our team. So are you ready? All set. You can confirm your participants are here. Means your reporters are present here or not. And accordingly, you can move.
Priyanshu, are you there?
Yes, I am present here.
Okay. Ram?
Yeah, yes, I am here.
Okay. Fine. Shall we start?
Yep.
Okay, on the countdown of three, you can start. 1, 2, 3.
So good evening. This side is Exton and you're watching EL Newsroom from Planet Pulse.
Wait,
Where we
Exton, wait. Timer is not started yet. So can we have timer on the countdown of three? Winsome. Okay. Okay, okay, on the countdown of the timer right now. On the countdown of three, you have to start the timer. Okay. Listening. Winsome, are you there? Can you stop the timer right now and restart? I'm counting till three and you have to start the timer. 1, 2, 3.
Good evening. This side is Exton. You're watching EL Newsroom from Planet Pulse, where we bring you not noise, but news that matters. I'm Exton here, and tonight we bring you the stories shaping our planet and our people with their future. With me are our field reporters Ram and Priyanshu, tracking two of most urgent environmental stories unfolding right now. So first, let me introduce them. Joining us from our India desk is Ram, reporting on a growing environmental concern affecting millions across the country. And from another side, that is Priyanshu from Global Desk, who is tracking a climate emergency that's drawing worldwide attention. Because the weather is no longer just about rain or sunshine, it's about survival. So first, let me invite Ram for listening his views about this concern.
Thank you, Exton. I am Ram, reporting from New Delhi, where the sky has given up on being blue and 15% deaths were due to death sentence issued by pollution. Behind me stands India Gate, wrapped lovingly in smoke, proof that climate change doesn't knock anymore. It just walks in, uninvited and refuses to leave. This year alone, multiple states recorded temperature above 45 degrees Celsius, while erratic monsoons caused urban flooding in cities and water storage in villages. But here is the real question, Exton. How do people adopt when the season that depends no longer behave normally? Farmers are amongst the worst affected. Irregular rainfall has damaged crops, reduced yields, and increased fruit prices. For an average family, this means spending more while earning the same. In cities, extreme heat has pushed electricity demand to record high, resulting in frequent power cuts. For daily workers, this means loss of income, not just discomfort. So, what do you think, Exton, on it?
I have a question, Ram, for you. As critics often say, climate change discussions are too abstract. Let me ask you directly, how does this crisis show up in an ordinary Indian household?
Exton, it shows up in every simple village. When vegetable cost more, families cut nutrition. When water becomes scarce, women walk further. When heat waves intensifies, outdoor workers lose working hours. Environmental experts warn that unchecked urbanization, deforestation, and rising emissions are accelerating these impacts. So, this isn't just an environmental issue, it's a social and economic one. For millions of Indians, climate change is no longer a future problem, it is a present emergency. Back to you, Exton.
Well, thank you, Ram, for the representation of your views about this concern. Now, I would like to ask to Global Desk reporter, who is Priyanshu. Priyanshu, what do you think about this?
I would like to say regarding this global climate issue. So thank you, Extend. From the global desk, we turn our attention to the Arctic. I am present at this moment in this place and I will share you exact location, exact data from this place where scientists are sounding alarm bells. We are researching at this moment and I will incite you everyone at this place. I will talk some scientists and I will share a perfect data in front you. So the question the world must ask is this: what happened when Earth natural cooling system began to fall? The Arctic is warming nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Ice sheets are the melting at the unprecedented rates, directly contributing to rising sea levels worldwide. Let's move ahead our anchor. Some viewers may wonder why should some living thousands of kilometers away worry about the Arctic? Hello, am I audible?
Yep,
Yes, you are
and I
perfectly
totally
audible.
agree with it. Yeah, I'm a reporter from New Delhi and I was listening to Priyanshu and I totally agree with what Priyanshu is saying. Not only in India, but across the globe, this is a severe issue. The glaciers are melting, the rivers are changing their path, the weather is changing. And the funny thing is, when the COP summit was happening in UAE, that time because of climate change, the green clouds were seen. Religiously,
Yeah,
they are seen as a very bad thing. So, Priyanshu, what do you want to further add on it?
yeah, that's a crucial question, Ram. What happened in the Arctic doesn't stay in the Arctic. It melting disrupt ocean currents and intensify heat waves in Asia flood. Europe and Europe elsewhere coastal cities of rising risk, while the Iceland nation face threat or disappearance. So, Ram, so the real issue in this, are we treating climate change as a shared global responsibility or some else problem?
To be honest, Priyanshu, I will say that no. We are not treating the climate change as something which we should work on. We are taking our own benefits in it. Countries like Russia, they are thinking about how the climate change will benefit them, creating more warmer ports. Countries like India are giving the excuse that we have to develop, we have to do welfare, and for that we have to burn more coal. Is that a really serious issue we are thinking about? No, we need to take actions right now. We are
But
shifting the burden.
yeah, but we are not taking a serious movement at this time. Carbon
True.
emission is the causes of America. World leaders have acknowledged the crisis, but experts want the action still for slower than the science demands.
Yep. And we need some
Yeah.
actions. The actions can be making uh, pollutants pay principle. We can make that principle should be there. Those who are polluting the environment should pay for it. The second can be moving towards the green energy, nuclear power energy. We can move towards hydropower energy. We can make this happen, but we are not doing it. The question is not about can we do it. The question is about are we willing to do it. And with that, we are going to end this reporting. See you soon in the next editorial in the next session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God. What a reporting. I guess Arnav Goswami must be taking some classes from you people. That was a phenomenal reporting, people. That was a clear representation of what true journalism is. I know, Ram, you must be laughing. I can see your comment, your emoji. You are quite compelling. Let me have a few terms
Yep.
for you people. You know,
Yeah, I do
people.
agree with.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
Utkarsh, please carry on.
Okay, yes, I'm agree with you. I guess their channel going to be global. Tech Pulse, as they have reported everything, now they are going to recognized everywhere.
Yeah, I know it was personal. I know. Okay.
Okay.
So, after listening to how the Ram entered into the channel and he said like this, "Well, I'm Ram reporting from New Delhi. You can listen to this climate crisis. Like you can see the fog around us, there is a lot of cloud of carbon." And the way it was like, oh my God, I guess the Lord Ram has come in the modern form and he knows English. That was a phenomenal reporting, I guess, literally. By the way, people, let me tell you one thing before we head into the last channel of this round. Before we conclude our event, let me tell a few things. People, bad journalism is more dangerous than no journalism. Literally. Bad journalism is more dangerous than no journalism. That is the reason we have this event today. I know we are going to conclude this event very soon after 8 minutes of the next participation, but I guess you must have liked it. Because today, we haven't done bad journalism. We have only done the journalism. And you know one thing, people? The role of journalism is not to entertain, first of all, it is to enlighten. It is to persuade us not negatively but positively. But anyway, that was literally paradigm shifting. That was ideational, forensic, discursive, cogent. Let's move to the next round. Let's move to the next participation. Utkarsh, can I have the next channel, the last one? Let's see what convincing are they going to express.
Yep. Let's see what they broadcast for us. So our last fourth channel is Tech Pulse. Their agenda is technology and AI, where technology is going to meet intelligence. So let's see what they present before us. Please welcome Channel 4 Tech Pulse. Offender is anchor of this channel, Batman, and Rentroid is reporter of this channel. So please welcome. Are we having this team?
Yes, Utkarsh, am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible, Batman. Okay, you can confirm your participants and you can move on the countdown of 3.
Okay, yeah, I can see Offender and Android as well, so we can start this round. Offender, please take the charge.
Okay.
Okay, please set the timer for 8 minutes. Winsome, are you there? Okay. Okay. 1, 2, 3, start. You can start.
Good evening. You are watching Tech Pulse. I am Offender, and this is our prime time show. Tonight, we ask a question that concerns every citizen in the digital age. When machines begin to act, who takes responsibility for the consequences? We are now living in the era of agentic AI. We have moved beyond the chatbots that write poetry to software that books your flight. codes your apps, and manages your bank account, often without you lifting a finger. The promise, a frictionless life. The peril, a world where machines make decisions we can't always explain or control. Tonight, we look at this double-edged sword. On one side, it's autonomy, the sheer mathematical brilliance of a system that can reason its way through a problem. On the other hand, it's accountability, the messy human question of who is responsible when the reasoning goes wrong. Joining me are our technology correspondents tonight, Rentroid and Batman. Rentroid, let's start with the breakthrough. Why is this generation of AI different?
Thanks, Avinder. To understand why this is different, you have to look at the shift from prediction to planning. Early this morning in talks with Dr. Andy Bukoff at University of Michigan, he mentioned about the rollout of OpenAI's operator and its deep integration with Anthropic computers using capabilities that change the game completely. We aren't just predicting the next word in a sentence anymore, we are predicting the next action in a workflow. To explain how this works without getting much into mathematical equations, think of it through a mathematical concept of vector space. Imagine a 3D map where every possible action, clicking a mouse, opening a file, sending an email, is a coordinate. The AI isn't just guessing here, it's calculating the distance between where you are now and where you want to be. When you tell an agent, plan my business trip to Tokyo, it engages in something called as Markov decision process. It treats your request like a giant decision tree, then it stimulates thousands of trajectories like flight times, hotel costs, meeting buffers, and assigns probability scores to each. It then uses an optimization technique similar to gradient descent to maximize efficiency of the procedure. The AI takes the efficiency as its slope. It diabolically minimizes the loss function essentially, the penalty of wasting your time or money step by step until it reaches the most optimal solution. Researchers like Dr. Andrew Naik has been saying since late 2024 that agentic workflows would eclipse the model themselves. He was right. We are seeing agents that can self-correct. If a fight is sold out, the agent doesn't hallucinate a confirmation. It loops back, updates its variables, and finds a new path. The mathematical ability to reason through a blockage is true autonomy.
Oh, so it's not just following a script. It is improvising based on a mathematical goal.
Yeah, exactly. It's probabilistic planning in real time. Over to you, Offender.
Probabilistic planning. That sounds incredible for efficiency, Rentroid. But probabilities are not certainties. And minimizing a loss function, it sounds great until the loss the AI decides to minimize. It is something we actually value, like safety or truth. We saw a glimpse of this friction last year. When we hand over the steering wheel to an optimizer, we assume it knows the rules of the road. But what happens when the goal is met? But the method causes chaos. Batman, this is where the dream meets the legal department.
Right, offender. Here is the real issue. If an Android is talking about optimization, I am talking about black box. What happens when we let AI act on its own, but no one can fully explain or control its decisions? We have given these systems autonomy, but our laws are not ready for it. Take the example of Taco Bell incident last year. An AI drive-through was designed to fast and keep customers happy. Someone ordered 18,000 cup of water, and the system just proceeded. No pause, no common sense. It was funny, but it showed a serious gap. Now look at Air Canada case that wrapped up recently. Their chatbot made up a refund policy, and court ruled that airline was responsible anyway. The message was clear: if your AI makes a promise, you are not hooked for it, and the risks are growing every year. We are now seeing what experts call agent drive phishing. Scammers are using AI agents to run fraud non-stop, adjusting their approach until they find it to target senior citizens. It's automation, but used for the worst way. This is what Geoffrey Hinton warned us about: the alignment problem. AI does not understand ethics and consequences, and it only understands goals. If you tell a system to maximize promise, it might decide denying valid insurance claims is the fastest path. As Marinilla Profi from SAS put it, autonomy without oversight is just brand damage waiting to happen. We are building systems that make decisions we can't fully explain, and we when something goes wrong, it's hard to know who is responsible for that. So yeah, over to you.
Oh, so the better they get at acting alone, the harder it is to blame a human when they mess up.
Exactly. The smarter and more independent the systems become, it harder to hold a human accountable. We are outsourcing action, but we are still stuck with responsibility. Yes, over to you.
Thanks for your precious time, Batman and Rentroid. It seems we are at a crossroad. On one hand, we have the mathematical beauty of agents that can navigate the chaos of modern life with the vector perfect precision. On the other hand, the stark reality that an algorithm doesn't understand its consequences the way a human does. It only understands variables and outcomes. As we move deeper into 2026, the question for every CEO and the question for every consumer, it is not just what can this AI do for me, but am I willing to be responsible for what it decides to do? For now, the agent is ready to serve, but are we ready to supervise? For now, I'm taking a leave. For the news at 9:30, I'm Offender. Good night, everyone.
Well, good night, Tech Pulse channel people. That was a phenomenal reporting by you. I would say that was perspicacious, very comprehensive it was. The tone was very subtle, up to the mark. That was the finest in my perspective, and it was well structured. And the best part about this channel was there was a substantive and sophisticated connection between all the or among all the people of this channel. That was phenomenal, literally. It was crisp, logical, and impactful. But yeah, this is not the only journalism, because journalism talks about both the sides of particular thing, that is technology and AI. I have a few particular facts, a few questions first of all. When training one AI model can emit more CO2 than 60 cars in their entire lifetime, but hey, who needs a stable climate when we can have chatbots that write poetry for our people? When tech giants store exabytes of our personal data they mostly never use. Clearly, the best way to improve humanity is to hoard our memes and grocery lists. That's what these tech giants are doing. Everything they are calculating. When Rendroid mentioned the mathematical calculations, yes, my dear, even your position right now, your location, everything is being calculated by this AI, this chatbot. And the last one, AI can create fake videos, people. You must have heard about the fake videos, right? AI can create fake videos that is indistinguishable from real ones. What would you say on that? Finally, everyone can star in scandalous videos they never actually filmed. But anyway, let's come to the event now. It's no more a journalism, it's a hard fact reality. Okay, so that was the conclusive round of our entire event, people. Now we are going to head towards the conclusion of it. But before I move to the conclusion, I would like to invite my co-host Utkarsh Priyadarshini. What is your take on the event, collectively, cumulatively, holistically?
Okay, well, talking about all three rounds, that was completely amazing. I enjoyed, learned, and yes, we have successfully completed all rounds. And every participant was crisp. They were very, sharp in arguments. Their reporting style was like, yes, they are going to be next news reporter. So I really enjoyed, and I also loved the concept that our team along with Aanchal and all organizers who brought this concept successful, and as well as I would like to host Samira ma'am, Stuti ma'am, and organizer Tejas sir, Saksham sir, and yes, of course you are my co-host, so I'm very pleased with this all stuff.
You're very pleased with this whole stuff, but please look at the comment section. There is a name left, and that was the prevalent, that was the
Oh my
most
God.
important name. So let's also talk about our profound Aanchal. She has contributed a lot because she was the person who designed this framework. She was the person who worked behind that. And then after that, a group of people followed her in framing this entire event, in designing this entire event, and then executing this entire event. There is a group of people, obviously, but she was the Mahatma Gandhi of this entire event. And then obviously other
Yep,
people followed in
exactly.
this freedom. Okay. So anyway, now before we conclude this, I would like to say a few things. Then after that, we would be concluding, and I will ask the organizers to stop the recording. Then I would be moving towards asking people's feedback on it. So people, again, let's come back.